Hi, I'm Griffin, and I just want to talk about Star Wars. Um, Today I want to talk about lightsaber wounds and whether or not they cauterize immediately. Now, it's kind of a common misconception that lightsaber wounds are always instantly cauterized by the heat of the lightsaber. That's just not true all the time. Um, Usually it is true, and that kind of explains away a lot of the PG-13ness of a lot of Star Wars. If lightsaber wounds bled, then the movies and the video games would be a lot more gory than they are. The amount of dismemberment in some of the video games is already kind of pushing the envelope, so if they were to add blood, it just wouldn't be Star Wars anymore. But there have been instances where lightsaber wounds bled. Two, in fact. Now, the first instance that I'd like to talk about is it comes from Episode 4, A New Hope. And this is when Obi-Wan Kenobi cut off Panda Baba's arm in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Now, obviously, it bled. The wound bled. Panda Baba bled. He lost an arm, so that's a pretty big wound. Now, that kind of caused some problems for people because lightsaber wounds aren't supposed to cause bleeding. They're supposed to cauterize all wounds. And this was actually the first time we ever saw a lightsaber on screen being used in terms of when the movies were released. So Panda Baba was a member of the Aqualish species, which means they came from the planet Ondo. Ondo was an oceanic planet. It was covered in, I believe, 95% water. And we don't know the ins and outs of every single ocean on that planet, but we can assume that they were similar to the oceans, rather, on Earth. And the oceans on Earth can be pretty extreme. There can be some pretty extreme situations. So it's within the realm of possibility that the physiology of an Aqualish is vastly different from a human. Now, obviously, their appearance, we know they don't look like humans. So the fact that their physiology differs from ours in such a big way isn't really a huge surprise, which is why I think it's not that difficult of a leap in logic to think that it's possible that their bodies could withstand greater temperatures. I think it's very possible that the blood and the flesh of an Aqualish just can withstand a greater temperature than that of a human. Therefore, his wound on his arm did not close immediately, and the blood that would have been spilled due to the wound did not evaporate. Now, that claim I'm making, that it's just a physiological difference between the Aqualish and the humans, is not really based in any Star Wars lore. It's just the way I've always kind of explained it away to myself. But it makes sense, and I think it's a decent enough explanation. Hopefully you think so too. Now, the second instance of a lightsaber causing blood would be found in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan Kenobi chopped Darth Maul right in half. There's a very brief, it's easy to miss, it's real quick, flash of blood in that shot where Darth Maul is cut in half. This instance of a lightsaber drawing blood, I feel, is a lot easier to explain. One thing that a lot of people don't realize about Darth Maul is that he is not actually a Zabrak. Darth Maul is, as opposed to what most people think, a Dathomiri, which means he is half human and half Zabrak. So he's already 50% human. And second of all, the Zabrak species, physiologically, is very similar to humans. Their skin tone is different, they have horns instead of hair, but other than that, there aren't really many biological differences between Zabrak and humans. So Darth Maul is, inside, basically a normal human. If I were cut in half at the stomach, there would be a lot of blood. And given that Darth Maul is mostly human, I think it's safe to say that there would be just as much blood for him, too. Obi-Wan was quite quick with his swing, so I think it's definitely reasonable to say that the attack that Obi-Wan used simply was too fast to properly or completely cauterize the wound that he was inflicting on Maul. Or, at the very least, the blood, which he would have had to have cut through in order to cut through Maul, would have evaporated in at such a rate, and there would have been so much of it, that the mist that we see would have appeared. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the topic. It's not a huge, story-breaking plot hole in Star Wars. It isn't really a plot hole at all, as I've just explained. I just felt like it was something that some people might need some clearing up. And thank you to you know who you are, who gave me the idea for this video. Well, I hope everyone stays safe and has a wonderful night. You can like, comment, and subscribe if you want. People say that, I guess. Anyways, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.